There is something deep within me that is the divine presence that wants to have its way, wants to have its experience. One of the questions that we asked of these practitioners, and by the way, they all passed. Yeah, let's... Yeah. One of the questions that it's a good thing Mary's not here today because she hasn't taken her oral panel yet. She probably would freak out to hear me talk like this. Maybe she's watching the video. But anyway, there was a question about, because we're always asking practitioners, you know, here's a make-up scenario. How would you deal with this? And it was about abortion, or end of life, or something to that effect. And the person who was answering it had a very good answer, but one of the things in which she was a little uncertain about is that, and it kind of boiled down to maybe her judgment, was this idea that if my mother had an abortion, I would not be here. And it flashed upon me in that moment. And my response was, that is not the truth. Spirit wants to be an expression, and you can't stop it. Spirit is going to find a way. Maybe it didn't show up in that family, or maybe it didn't show up in that body, or maybe it didn't show up in that form, but Spirit wants to be in life, and you can't stop it. It's going to show up. It's going to be an expression someplace, somewhere, somehow. We might try to deny it. We might try to avoid it. We might try to pretend like, you know, that doesn't bother me. I don't understand that. That's not for me. You know, we can run away from things, but the truth of it is, everything about Spirit is going to find its way. It is the first cause of all that is. It is the creator of everything, including evolution. It is that which makes life life. And you can call it by any other name. But the reality, the realization, is that Spirit is life in every moment, in every person, place, and thing. All the time. Regardless of what you call it, what it appears to look like, or how much suffering you want to bring with it. That is not the nature of Spirit. That is the beingness of who we are, because we were given free choice. And someplace along the way, we're making these choices. If not individually, collectively, we're living the race consciousness of the Neanderthal as well as those who are in the future. Because there is only one mind. It is infinite, eternal, absolute, and now. The topic that I begin with today, that thoughts or things, or in the song, thoughts or prayers, has been debated and questioned and studied by every philosophy, and every religion, and every tradition, and every culture from time immemorial. Where did it all begin? Where did it all start with? In the sutras, it says that in the tens of thousands of millions of eons ago, that's a really long time. Sounds like infinity to me. In the Christian scripture, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God has no beginning and no end, so the Word must have no beginning and no end. It has always been. And quantum physics and science says that it all began in the Big Bang. Out of some place, out of some nothingness, there was this huge explosion that has been rippling out and creating and evolving ever since. I seem to think that there was something before the Big Bang that created the Big Bang in and of itself, out of itself, as itself, because you can't stop spirit. Spirit wants to have an expression and an experience, and if it requires that it must create an enormous Big Bang in order to have a physical manifest universe, then it will do so, and there's nothing you can do about it. So trying to figure out how to change the universe, I think, is a little bit silly. What you want to do with your own life is critical. If you have a pain, if you have suffering, if you have a disease, if you have disharmony, if there is something that is lacking or limited in your life, then you need to bring the presence and the realization of that divine, infinite, eternal, immortal being that is you into the forefront, and stop kicking it backwards. Move out into the expression of who you are, right here and right now. And it begins with your thought. And your thought is what is built out of your feelings. So if you are feeling diseased, your thoughts are going to be diseased. Your effect, your form is going to be diseased. And that's not judgment, and that's not trying to make anybody right or wrong. That's just the way it is. It's facts, folks. Lay it out. And if that is true, then it's also true that if you're feeling good, you're thinking good, your effect, your body is good. Hence we come up, Ernest Holmes came out with this simple little statement: change your thinking, change your life. What are we waiting for? Now is the time. You are the person. This is the place. The world is coming to an end as we know it. Something new is being born again. This is not the first time. It's forever in renewal. Life is forever creating. That's why it's called life, creation. Forward, upward, onward, forever and ever and ever. Don't try to disengage the process. Don't try to cut it short. Don't try to make it, a bypass. Get on the highway of life. Choose the one with 6 lanes moving forward, all in the direction that you want to go. And put the metal to the floor, or whatever it is. Yeah. Engage. Star Trek. Engage, number 1. Let's go. Let's move. What are we waiting for? We've got universes beyond this to explore. In one of the sutras that I've been reading since the Buddha relics have been here, the sutra in one of the Rinpoches, I believe, was talking about one of the teachers, and his question was, so why is it that this master only had 80 years to live this life? The realization is that we have eternity. Why was it shortened to just 80 years? And there's a whole lot more into the sutra that